Maybe people who haven't been in affiliate marketing for a long time, or maybe have struggled as an agency, they don't realize that it's all about taking care of these long-term relationships.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, powered by Advertise, ultimate destination for affiliate program news, insights, growth opportunities, partnerships, and affiliate program strategy.
Welcome to this next edition of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. Joining me is Dennis Yu, and I'm going to read you his byline just to give you the kind of amp of who this man is and what he's achieved in his career. He's the co-author of the first best-selling book on Facebook ads on Amazon. He's also written the best-selling book, The Definitive Guide to TikTok Ads. His clients have included people like Nike, Starbucks, Red Bull, the Golden State Warriors, to name just a few. And this man has spoken at over 800 conferences in 20 countries throughout his career, having flown over 6 million miles in the last 30 years to train young adults and business owners around the world. Dennis, welcome to this podcast. It is an absolute privilege to have you here with me today. For people that maybe don't know you, that haven't been in the industry very long, tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you got to be the man that you are today. And basically, I'm going to call you the go-to all time of paid Facebook ads and TikTok ads, because that's kind of how everybody knows you. But also, you've got an incredibly illustrious career in SEO as well. So a lot of knowledge that we want to dig into today. So give us the backstory. How did you begin?
Back in the late 1900s, I was one of the first people at Yahoo. I was a search engine engineer. I was fighting the SEO people trying to trick us who built the search engine. And a lot of the people I trained, they went on to go work at Google, and a lot of those people went on to Facebook. So I was there very lucky in the beginning days of Silicon Valley. I was one of the first to run Facebook ads, and I spent $1 billion on Facebook ads.
People don't even get budgets like that anymore. You know what I mean? To go and spend that kind of money learning your craft and having the opportunity to do that is just such a massive career opportunity.
It's actually easier with larger budgets. We took Rosetta Stone, which back then was the language learning company before Duolingo and whatnot. And we were testing all different kinds of stories, like the Portland ambulance driver that could speak Spanish. And therefore, when he was treating someone who was Hispanic, he could save their life because that extra few seconds of asking in Spanish, do you have any medications that you're allergic to or whatever? That's a story. Or the businessman who takes his wife to Paris and surprises her by ordering in French, like all these different stories. We put $1 a day against each of those. On Facebook, on the YouTube, on other sorts of places, we were spending $1 million a day. And it's actually easier when you have the power of a well-known brand. Like we had the Golden State Warriors for 5.5 years. We're running digital marketing, running their ads, managing the website, doing all this stuff. So we built huge remarketing pools, and then being able to leverage 5 million was our email audience. We had all the Ticketmaster sales. We had the check-in audiences on Facebook, people who came to the stadium. We were the only people ever to have check-in audiences on Facebook. They made that just for us. Millions of people that were using the app. We had website retargeting. We had partners like Uber and Clorox and United Airlines, because they're the ones that sponsor the teams. So they gave us their audiences so we could cross-market. We had a thing where it was like Warriors Wednesday. So if you came into the chicken wing place and you wore your Warrior shirt, you buy 6 wings, you would get 6 wings free. It was so hard to lose because you have a well-known brand. They partner with all these other brands. They have lots of money. We have the past examples of what has worked in the past. So we could just run the same kind of promotion that we've run in previous years. And you don't have this nightmare client situation like when you work with really small businesses or a startup, just starting a new software, just starting a new agency, just starting a new thing. They're trying to sell their songs or their t-shirts online. Those are so hard. We took Washington Furniture. They're the world's largest furniture retailer, largest furniture manufacturer in the world, way bigger than IKEA. And we were running their Facebook ads and running their Google ads. I found it cheap in this whole affiliate space by working with the larger brands. And people would say, how did you get Nike as a client? Did you have like a really good sales technique to try to get your way in? And I said, no. We did a really good job for Adidas for the Olympics. Nike and Adidas are in the same city in Portland, Oregon, right? They talk to each other. So the Nike folks said, hey, we'd love for you to come in and help us understand, talk about what you do for Adidas. Can you do the same thing for us? Of course. How much money do you have? Oh, we have this new shoe that's coming for Nike running, all these different things, right? All these different campaigns. And then they have their influencers, Justin Bieber and Serena Williams and LeBron James and all these other folks. it's such a fun experience because when you're working with a well-established brand, just by working with them, you're going to win, right? They have lots of money, great creative team. That allows you to attract really good people on your team. Because when people saw we had Nike as a client, we could attract good talent because who wouldn't want to work on our team? Any success I've ever had, Leanne, wasn't because I was a genius or really smart. I just happen to know that if I associate myself with successful brands, or if there's someone else who has some kind of skill or and I find a way to create value for them, then that spills over onto me and that will attract good people to want to come work on our team. I think, Leanne, you know this, but maybe people who haven't been in affiliate marketing for a long time, or maybe have struggled as an agency, they don't realize that it's all about taking care of these long-term relationships.
This is still very much a relationship-led industry, and all the people that I get to work with are really met through connections, through conferences, through word of mouth referrals. It's still very prominent in our industry versus other industries. But I want to call you up on something because you said, you weren't very clever, but you worked with really big brands. But there's a lot of stuff that you learned working with those big brands, and I want to dig into some of those things now. So we've seen the evolution of affiliate marketing go from traditional publishers, content bloggers, to influencers, to paid media buyers. Like everybody is now filtering into the affiliate channel. And I want to dig into the paid side a little bit with you, because obviously that's your area of expertise alongside SEO. What should affiliate managers be doing now to actually attract more media buying affiliates into their programs? What tools do they need to be giving these guys? Because I often find sometimes affiliate managers are trying to squash all of their affiliates into one box, and a paid media affiliate doesn't work the same way and have the same needs as a SEO content blogger, for example. What should they be learning and doing and adapting now?
The landing pages have to be compliant, but I think there's a level that's deeper than that. And in the last 5 or 6 years, people have talked about influencer marketing. I think it's partway there, but the real answer is you're the affiliate manager, you represent a brand. You're trying to drive sales that are still brand compliant. And so we wrote a book, and this book on TikTok ads, Larson talks about Spark ads. The most viral content, the most interesting content is not content made by the brand, right? It's content made for people who are working out together, who are losing weight, who are just doing fun things in the gym. So some of them millions of views, some of a few hundred. What you do as an affiliate manager is you reach out to them saying, hey, I really love that video that you made with your son and whatever it is that you're doing, or you did a dance with the weights or whatever it is they're doing, right? They're having fun. We represent World Gym, and I'd love to put $100 against that. And they're not an affiliate. They don't think they're influencers, right? They actually are customers. They go to that World Gym 3 times a week. They love it. They can tell real stories about it. And then when those people have created content, we can boost those posts on a per-one basis. So maybe they made that post 3 months ago and we were scanning through and we noticed it. Me as the affiliate manager, I could go to them and say, man, I love that post, and then just have it run forever. And then use it across, if you're multi-location like World Gym, we could use it across all the other gyms.
And also get verificational as well. You can post the posts that are made by people that are in the cities and towns that you're in. So user-generated content is becoming a lot bigger, a lot more prominent. And I understand that. I understand what we need to tell affiliate managers is go out and find the users that are generating content that could be the greatest customers for you. Don't think of them as affiliates. Think of them just as people, like humans that are creating content, and help to educate them in order to become your ambassadors eventually. So the micro-influencer is actually where the heat is at, especially if you're going to be working closely with your paid media team, because then you can amplify those messages and actually get really great user-generated content out in front of other customers. And that's the thing, especially if you're in a company or in a business that is targeting a younger audience, so Gen A, Gen Z, they don't want to have ads anymore. Like my generation, I'm old. I like a little nice looking ad with an offer at the end and a call to action. Well, younger people don't want that anymore, and they don't want to have brands pushing their content in front of them because they immediately don't believe it. I look at my 13-year-old son, he's going to die if he hears that I'm mentioning him on the podcast, but he does not accept what Google tells him. Whereas normally I would go on Google, and if Google says these are the top 3 sites to go and look at, I'd blindly follow because that's how I was taught the internet. And it's changing now. So I think we need to get out of the habits of doing things the way that we've always done them. And we need to start thinking more laterally about content, where it lands, how it lands, and stop trying to push affiliates into a box all the time to only do this and only do this. Because those silos don't exist anymore. You mentioned really big brands like Nike and Adidas. Their teams aren't structured in silos anymore. You've got like a head of growth and a CRO, and they're covering all channels now, whereas smaller companies still have this interdepartmental cannibalization, like that's a paid media budget, and this is an affiliate budget, and this is a brand awareness budget, whereas affiliate covers all of that now.
And everyone is bringing stuff in-house too. Facebook Ads Library, you can spy on anyone else's ads, and it's easy to copy. AI makes it super easy to copy those. One of our guys that's doing several $1 million a month. And I think part of it is that these guys launch lots of ads because they don't want you to know what you're doing winners.
So is that a good strategy to launch lots of content and see which ones hit and then double down on the ones that hit?
Yeah, well, that's just a basic testing strategy. These are almost all AI generated, okay? For a roofing company in a particular city, you can just copy this into every other. And this is basic modern version of a zip submit. You'd be like, hey, you can get a free roof and see if you qualify. So this guy, my buddy Ethan, is now basically an affiliate for all these other roofing companies, and he's just multiplying this. You see, Leanne, how you could just multiply that for every other roofing company.
The craziness is that those videos were really cool, and they were generated by AI. So the cost to actually get the ad now has become so efficient. I'm sitting here thinking, why aren't more affiliates doing paid media? Why are they all still trying to chase SEO and LLM traffic when they can just ramp up and do paid?
We have like our buddy Marco. He's probably doing $3 million a year, and he chose concrete coating. Started another one in HVAC doing the same thing, scaling that thing up. That's probably worth $10 million in terms of his affiliate agency, if you want to call it that. Another one, Brady Sticker, he's doing in churches. I think he's doing $500,000 a month doing those kinds of ads.
Get your niche, get your AI ads made, get a whole ream of them made, get them up on Facebook and or TikTok, wherever you think your audience is. Start to split test them and look at what is actually working, and then just do the math. And is it really that simple? Because people will say it's not.
It is, because the thing that causes these AI ads on Facebook, for example, to work is that you're using the conversion API to pass back to signal on what actually became a closed job in the CRM. Just run Facebook lead ads, then Facebook will give you a ton of cheap leads, like $15 leads, $20 roofing leads, but they'll be low quality leads. The brand will complain because they can pass back that data. So they have to actually, to really win in Facebook ads now, because things have changed. I ran my first Facebook ad in May 2007. So instead of just like, okay, I'm going to buy leads from these other places, and some leads are good and some are bad, I can actually control the quality of those leads, because when I pass back the conversion signal of which leads converted, then Facebook's the targeting in that ad campaign is learning from the conversion signal, not just someone filled out a form, but it actually results in a real deal. The affiliate manager should be taking a lot of paid search and social media ads in-house, which I know pisses off the affiliates. The affiliates don't like me mentioning this because the affiliates would rather have the brand folks and the affiliate managers say, oh, this is too difficult for you. You should just keep paying every month because it changes so much, and you should do your job and have us do our thing because we're really good at doing PPC and Facebook ads, whatever, right? That's what they would like to tell you. But if you're an affiliate manager, I'm telling you, I train a lot of people in this lead gen thing, and we also train people on the brand side. And they all do a better job than the affiliates. Now, the affiliates don't like to hear that. Why do the brands win? Because they have that conversion data, they have the CRM, they have this unfair advantage.
Where do you think the future of affiliate marketing is headed, and what types of affiliates should affiliate managers be doubling down on to augment what their own company is doing with direct?
What I've been saying for years, Leanne, is that when you don't have a strong team or you don't have the resources, you can't hire it, it's good initially to start out with affiliates because you can reach different audiences, because all these different affiliates cover different segments. This girl's got a big mom site and a big mom email list. You want to reach the moms for your product, whatever it might be. And this other guy's really good at Google ads. And this, I get it. Like, that's the appeal of having these affiliates where you can't afford to have your own team. By the time you've hired employees and you have to manage them, and it's hard to fire them and it's hard to keep up. But because of AI, because the networks are getting smarter, ultimately the affiliate, no one wants to hear this, but the affiliate is a tax that you pay between the underlying customer and what you're paying. The affiliate, by definition, is in the middle between the customer and you, and there's a tax, there's a margin there. So efficiency is being squeezed because of algorithms are getting smarter on the ad side, organically, all that. So what can an affiliate do that has unique value that the brand can't do, that the networks that manage the ad systems and whatnot can't do, that Google or ChatGPT can't do? Well, it's the relationship they have. That's why UGC is so strong. It's the individual consumers. There's other folks who manage kind of UGC and the collection of those. You could do deals with associations, and maybe you're selling hunting products. So you do a deal with some hunting association, and that gives you access to all of these things, and you run events. That's stuff that the network, Facebook and Google, organically or paid, can't do because it's based on an underlying relationship. People say, oh, what am I going to do about AI in 5 years from now? Can I still do what I'm doing now? Will it still last? What's the component that you have? And the answer is, I've talked to a lot of people. I've asked a lot of people, I want to know. And the answer I hear consistently is it's relationships, which is back to what we talked about in the beginning. Yeah.
It is full circle. There's quite a lot that we've unpacked here now. And some affiliate managers might be feeling worried about their jobs. I just want to kind of caveat that what Dennis is saying is the natural evolution of where we are right now, the internet. Like him and I have both been in the internet for more than 20 years. We've seen what happened at each of the big stages when search engines came online, when social media channels came online. The internet is constantly changing. And I think the one message that I want to give out to people listening is you need to be curious. You need to be curious. You need to be looking at different traffic sources. You need to be testing lots of things as an affiliate manager. You need to be talking to your partners to understand where that squeeze is happening and how you can still extract value from the partnership. It's not going to change tomorrow, but it is going to change within the next 3 to 5 years. That is a given. And you and I can see it because we've lived through it in multiple iterations. You know, I remember sitting in boardrooms where people said nobody would ever do anything on their mobile phone other than answer a call. Look at us now. We run our whole businesses from our iPhones and smartphones. So if we're talking about future-focused strategies, I want to talk about ads in the context of what is happening with retail media. Just a couple of weeks ago, OpenAI announced that they're going to have buy now buttons within their LLM search content. Walmart, Amazon, Target, they all want a piece of this space as well. And that comes back to the squeeze that you were talking about. So how does this shift change the game for traditional e-commerce affiliate marketers? What should they be thinking about? And what do you think is going to be happening in this space with consumers?
At the OpenAI Developer Day, they unleashed the SDK. They had the initial 11 apps, like Spotify and Walmart and whatever, Expedia, all these kinds of things where you call it from within ChatGPT. Windows, remember Microsoft Windows and all the apps. Sam Altman was asked about this by Ben Thompson. He didn't like that. I don't want to be compared to Bill Gates and Windows. Their whole agent kit, which allows you to build agents, and those of you that are already using, Make or N8N or LangChain or anything in the orchestration layer, which is organized agents to do different things, and you have like a manager and a QA and enforcement, that also further constricts the friction. With Google, when people were pissed off at Google, because Google would just show results right there instead of allowing people to go to the website because they would just show the data. And then same thing with AI overviews, which are now something like 53% of Google searches are now AI overviews, and that's increasing. So what are affiliates and brands to think about that? I get asked this question a lot because I've spoken at probably 20 AI conferences just this year. And so I was just at Bay in Denver. If you look at the agenda, it was AI and SEO, and what do we do about AI, and what about ChatGPT, and how does AI and PPC? And every single session was literally just AI and this and AI and that. And all I detected was this general fear of can't keep up. There's too many things going on. I feel like I'm missing out. Is my job going to be obsolete in 2 or 3 years? People are freaking out. But I tell them, you actually have an advantage. If you are the brand, if you're the affiliate manager for the brand, you are in the most powerful seat because you control the data, you control the brand story, you can use all these new things like Walmart with the instant checkout, where someone can just talk to ChatGPT saying, hey, I need some ice cream. Can you order some from Walmart and have it delivered tonight? Because me and my buddies are watching a movie, and it opens up the checkout. And so you saw, right, OpenAI released their instant checkout and other things like that. That's just an extension of SEO, organic retargeting, word of mouth through social media. So if your brand has a good reputation, if your customers love to talk about you, then you are going to be further amplified in ChatGPT. If people don't like you, if for some reason you're in an industry where it's like cosmetic surgery. People don't want to really talk about how they got fat stuff down to their butt. Certain industries, like they're a customer for a personal injury, or not personal injury, like, you don't admit that you're a criminal and then hired this law firm. So you never get testimonials for that sort of thing. But if you're in a business where, whether it's product or services and people love you, all ChatGPT, or people say philanthropic or Gemini or Grok, it is a multiplier of your brand reputation. If you have a good relationship with affiliates, and what I see with affiliate managers is like, I just like to run the monthly report and show how much revenue we have to the head of marketing or whoever it is, right? Because I show my channel, I'm the affiliate manager, and then the PPC person sends their report, and the email person sends their report, and the head of marketing has to combine all these numbers and say, ta-da, everyone's pulling their hair out of that, right? Every month. Affiliate manager reports that you add up the affiliate stuff, the PPC person, and it adds up to more sales than there are, right? All this overlap. You as affiliate manager know that the extent of your ability to help your affiliates be successful is the extent of the creative assets you have, the relationships you have, super affiliate, compensation structure you have, where, you pay more for certain people. If you know that's the case, and those are the core components of being an effective affiliate manager for your brand, then all ChatGPT does is amplify that in multiple levels. It helps you create better incentive and reporting and management structures for the affiliates. You just run those reports saying, all right, which affiliates are cheating me? Which one should I give special attention? Who's running these kinds of creatives? What keywords are they bidding on? You could do the policing a lot better, but more importantly, you could take the stuff in-house. Often affiliates managers are not allowed to do that because they don't want to, and there's channel conflict where they don't want to overlap with their counterpart. I think that if your boss, who's in charge of marketing, like the director of marketing or CM, whatever, however big company is, there's a boss of the affiliates manager. They understand it's all about increasing sales for the brand in an incremental, measurable way without destroying the brand story or saying free or something that affiliates will do things like that. Let's figure out how we can set up instant checkout. Here's another thing. I've never seen anyone at affiliate talk about this. So you know how affiliates are always paid on percent of sales or per lead, like some kind of performance basis, right? Yeah, I'm paying for performance. I'm not wasting money on brand because they're driving the sales. It's very efficient, right? If you want to win in ChatGPT and be recommended, that's one step up, because that's when people are saying, I want to make my house more beautiful. How do I decorate this? Oh, I need to change the lighting here. So that how-to content, a lot of affiliates are not as strong there. They don't have the same, unless they run like a community and
Well, it's quite funny you should say that, because I hosted a webinar recently, and we'll link you guys to the webinar that we had. Because what I came out of that webinar about what LLM citations are and why the long tail of your affiliate program is going to become a heck of a lot more important is because of this early brand awareness, is that we should really be focusing more now on this type of content, the how-to, and not about here's where it is to buy, which is normally what affiliates concentrate on, is here's the review of it, here's the price comparison of it, here's the discount voucher for it, instead of why do I need it, the context of why do I need that. So I think that's a really important thing for people to take away, is to start working with their content publishers to get those early brand awareness signals, because that is where affiliates are going to help you plug the gap now, especially if all of the AI tools are going to have one-click checkouts. You want to be there at the top. And if you think about it, with the way that Gen Z and Gen Alpha engage online, if you are targeting a younger audience or an audience that's coming up in age, you need to be where they are and interact the way that they do, not the way that you think they need. Do you know what I mean? And it's another iteration of the internet, which I'm quite interested to still see in my lifetime. We've got time just for a couple of quick, what I call rapid fire fun questions, if you don't mind, where it's either a yes or no, or you just give a really short opinion. What's one brand that you've worked with that has taught you something about how you change the way you think about affiliate and partnership marketing?
I found Starbucks. I always made fun of them because I would call them $10. Probably should be like $1, right? How do you charge 10? They taught me that you could take what used to be just a morning hot drink into an everyday brand to leverage the Starbucks brand. And so we worked with them on the launch of Frappuccino. We spent 17 million hours that one summer. So imagine going to Starbucks in the evening just to chill out there and also have a wine. So that increases the LTV of that customer base. I didn't realize you could leverage a brand in so many different ways, because I was just thinking Starbucks is just coffee in the morning.
So do most people, but now our local Starbucks has a crochet club. So, it's they really have integrated their brand in every aspect of their clients' lives to build that loyalty. So I love that as an example. More than $1 billion spent on ads. What's the most ridiculous targeting mistake you've actually seen that worked?
For something that was anti-pit bull. I targeted people that loved pit bulls. The American Pit Bull Club, the pit bull owners of Utah, pit bull owners of California. When that audience came in, they wanted to argue with this. Oh, pit bulls are friendly. Pit bulls are nice. My pit bull would never bite you. And then, that actually ended up driving more sales and attention.
Okay, so you did exactly the opposite of what you should have done and you won. If you had a small budget, where would you invest it today to break through the competitive noise?
Remarketing audiences. So I would do email remarketing, social remarketing. I'd run it all through Google Tag Manager. And then my favorite is postcard remarketing. So if someone comes to your site, you can send them a postcard. We can figure out where you live. And I have a friend who runs Dope Marketing, and he can send a postcard to somebody saying, Leanne, here's a satellite view of your house. And let's say you were looking at pest control. This neighbor, and this neighbor, like an image of zooming over your house. Neighbor also use this company for pest control. You should too. I know you came to the site last week.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. I like the online to offline connection. Do you believe Facebook ads will outperform TikTok ads? Controversial.
It's all short form vertical content, and you're going to run the same thing on both.
Do the target audiences actually still differ so much between TikTok and Facebook?
People have said that for a long time. When we first started running Facebook ads, they're saying, oh, Facebook's all a bunch of kids that are whatever. And now they're saying the same thing about TikTok.
Last question. Should affiliate programs be paying for tenancy or fixed fee budgets to partners? And if so, yes or no, and why?
If you want an agency approach, sure. I tend to be a performance-driven kind of person versus locking people in. I don't like the idea of super affiliates where you pay at a higher tier because it makes it harder for anyone else to come in. It's like a union. I have no incentive to come to the program that these other guys are paying way more. That doesn't encourage competition.
Right, but it does secure placements. So it depends on where you are in your life cycle and also what you're trying to achieve and who you're trying to compete against. So everything within reason. Okay, last question from me before we wrap up, because you've been so generous with your time. What's one golden tip, the Dennis Yu tip that's going to take us into 2026? What should digital marketers, performance managers, affiliate marketers, what should they be doing?
They should be running their affiliate performance through ChatGPT saying, what am I not seeing in this data?
I love that. And it's a beautiful way to end this podcast. What do I need to know that I don't know? The answer is a lot. But keep being curious, keep searching. And thank you so much for tuning in. And Dennis, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here. I am super grateful that you got up at 1 o'clock in the morning to be here on this podcast with me and to give us so many nuggets of wisdom from all the experience that you've had. So thank you so much for being on the podcast with me today.
Bridget, I'm very annoyed.
Why are you so very annoyed, Tim?
I try very hard to stay in touch with all the tips, trends, and developments in affiliate marketing, but I feel like everybody else gets the news before I do.
That's because you're not on affyversemedia.com. That's where the industry leaders get their info.
affyversemedia.com.
Yes, go to affyversemedia.com. You'll be happy you did.